Okay, so you should be able to see me and hear me well. I guess we can start. So as usual, we'll start with the update, general update regarding the project, future plans, and in the end, we'll move to the actual AMA session. So welcome all new investors. For those who don't know us, my name is Michael Novak. I'm MarketMove CEO, and together with me is Mariusz.
Hi everyone, my name is Mariusz Kierski. I'm the MarketMove CTO, and I also would like to welcome everybody who is new here, especially the new investors, as well as those of you who just joined our community and want to learn more about what we're building here.
Yeah, I guess we can start with the update. So basically, I'm really excited for what's coming. As you know, we are moving forward with the MoveX vision. As you know, to really make sure that we are successful in the future, we need to build very solid foundations. And that's why, in order to stay up to date, to stay up with the dynamically changing markets, we have decided to step up our game and modify the vision a bit. This is possible since we are still a very young project, and I'm really happy for it that at this point we can bring new incentives and new very important improvements to the whole vision and the whole project. So speaking about the most recent things, what we've been doing and what we managed to accomplish. So first of all, AI Safety Audit, our tool for auditing contracts, have been a huge success. I think at this point we have at least 6,000 or 7,000 daily users who use the tool. So this is a very good score. Another tool we released, so charts, we managed to release those tools very fast within a couple of months. AI Safety Audit first version, I guess it was released in less than 1 month after the project started. So that's very interesting, and I think that's a very good achievement as well. But we continue to improve those already released tools. But the even more important thing here is, as I've mentioned just a moment ago, that we are moving forward with the updated revamped vision, which will make it possible to take the whole project to the new level. So the very important thing which we will show in a second is rebranding. So we'll be basically releasing new website, new logo, along with updated white paper and everything. And this will enable us to look much more professional and really stick with the vision.
Yeah, that's very well said. If I may add a couple of things before we move forward, I think it's important to mention that we have already went a pretty long way. Ever since the project has really started back in August or September, depending when you mark the project start date. I would say August. So these tools are actually already used by influencers, by regular people, by everybody who wants to make sure that they're doing the right investment on the Binance Smart Chain. So this is the impact we already have in the crypto world. People recognize us. People know our name. It's not like some underdog that we were in the first days that we were trying to, show who we are to set our mark. Right now we are recognizable, which is actually a very good thing for you as investors, as community members, because that builds the long term, not just short term, credibility and stability in terms of growth of the community and new holders whatsoever. Just to add on this, so MoveX is an attempt to get all this together, the success that we have so far, and make it even bigger with a more let's say with a bigger vision that encompasses this and even more, so that we can be a top project very soon.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that the whole vision together with the updates that are coming will come together. We've already seen a very big success. Let's move to the next slide. So to the growth of our holders, only in the last 5 days, the number of holders increased by over 1,000. I believe at this point, since this presentation is from yesterday, it can be an even bigger number. And as you see, this is a very good score, taking into consideration the current condition on the market. If we move to the second slide to look at our chart, as you all are aware of, the current market doesn't look so bright. So Bitcoin is crashing along with Bitcoin, other altcoins. And despite this, we managed not only to hold our ground, but also to have a pretty significant growth.
So we have actually outperformed pretty much all of the top cryptos that are on the market, that are in the, like, let's say, top 10, top. And a lot of other projects that went along with the market. So we have outperformed that, which we're very, very glad of. That shows how strong we are really in the long run.
Yeah, and if you look at BNB move pair, so that's a constant growth. Obviously, some corrections are needed along the way, but if you look at the chart from the very beginning, this has been a steady growth, and we want to continue on doing that. Obviously, the best way to accomplish this is to deliver, is to really make sure that the whole vision comes through and that it is promoted in the right way. So talking about the vision, about promotion, we can move to the next slide. So Marius, if you maybe could take this over and tell a few words about this.
Of course, yeah. So this is something we've been working on recently. We actually have been approved to run our ads on Facebook, which is actually a bigger deal that you can imagine, because the thing is that most of the top platforms like Facebook, like Google, do not really allow most of the crypto advertisements. So by that, we can capture attention that most other projects cannot really achieve, which is actually a very, very good sign of trust that we have from the bigger platforms and advertisers, and the publishers, advertisers, I don't know, whatever. So you can see that this ad, it's also running on Coinzilla, but also it's running on Facebook, and soon will also be run in the BSC scan. You can see that this ad gives some sort of like a comparison with other projects, so that people can think that we are the next big thing coming in 2022, because that's what we really are.
Yeah, and that's the goal. So thank you, Marius. To add on top of that, I can tell that currently these ads are being run on a very small scale with a limited budget, because obviously with the release of the new website, along with everything, it will provide much better conversion rates. But even at this point, the results are very, very satisfying, and we will continue on doing that. So that's a standard practice in marketing, to maybe moving to the next slide, to do some A/B testing, testing which ads provide the best results, also to start from selected platforms, then expand. So as in this specific case, we are trying ads on Facebook, on Reddit, also on BSC scan, different platforms on a very, very small scale. And then we will choose based on the data, based on the results, which ads, which platforms were the most successful, and expand on that, increase the budget, and so on. So I think that's another thing worth mentioning, is that along with the rebranding, along with the new logo, so people who are not familiar with the new logo, it's here basically in the top left corner, but we received from the rebranding agency, we also received various documents, various propositions concerning potential merch, different variations of the logo, and so on, specific for the merch. So this is something we're also considering for the following months once we grow a little more. And I think that this can help to, let's say, glue together our community, which is and which has been very, very close, very supportive for each other. So thank you for that, because once I hop in, let's say, to see some messages on Telegram or Discord, it's always our moderators, investors doing the great job of informing other people about the project or let's say, helping them in various ways.
Yeah, actually, I think that maybe actually one of the strongest points about our project is that our community is exceptionally strong. And to be honest, I don't think I've ever saw such a community in other projects. So it's not like just people going in, asking a couple of questions, and they're leaving or staying silent. We actually have a lot of long-term supporters. Some of them came from the very beginning, maybe on the pre-sale phases. Some of the people join later, but still like get on the grip and support us all time. So this is very, very helpful. I see a lot of organic self-help in the group going on, which is very healthy, and we're really thankful for that, because together it helps us to succeed, to build the projects that will last long.
The community is one of the most important factors here, if not the most important factor. We receive a lot of feedback on a daily basis, which is very, very helpful. Also, people keep promoting the audit, sharing it with others, and this is a very helpful tool to avoid scams, rug pulls, honeypots, and so on. This will remain the component of the MarketMove platform. But let's jump to the next slide, and we'll discuss the MarketMove platform in a moment. So just to show you a few stats from the campaign. This is a very, very early thing, running on a very limited budget, and as you can see, still provides a lot of new people visiting our website. Many of them, I guess, then turn into investors and stay with us. The growth of the post engagement grew by like over 3,000%, and so on. Here's another growth, very big post reach, and this is run on a very small scale. So imagine if we combine the new release with a much bigger marketing budget we have prepared for this, with influencers also, and I believe that this will be a very fruitful marketing campaign.
Yes, I think that it's obviously not only that, because the project itself has strong fundamentals, but I would say a big contribution to the success of the recent outperforming of our asset versus other top cryptos is the big growth of confidence in the project. Also, new people coming from the ads, from the other efforts we have been doing recently. So continuing that as we move forward, as we release the entire vision, and maybe also the market rebounding a bit or stabilizing, will definitely bring us even bigger growth.
Exactly. And talking about the growth, about the development of the project, as mentioned at the beginning of this AMA session, we want to build really solid foundations. We don't want to rush, because if you look at the most successful project this year, for example, Solana, Luna, I think in Avalanche, and others, this is something which is based on strong foundations. It took some time, but then it brought enormous results, enormous, let's say, returns on the investment for people who participated early. And the same thing is with MarketMove. This is why we want to convey this MarketMove vision in a form of MoveX. So I guess that Marius will be happy here to tell a bit more about that.
Okay, so just again, shout out to the new members here. Some of you may not remember there was a riddle when we said that there is something that's coming, that it's called MoveX, and we didn't tell even a word. There was this wild speculation what X could stand for, and some people have actually guessed correctly that X stands for cross-chain, and it stays for exchange. And it's obviously way more than that. It's actually a full cross-chain DeFi platform. And but at its very core, it's a cross-chain exchange. So it's an opportunity to exchange assets, no matter which chain you are on, with a very convenient way. So you can think of combining your favorite exchange tool, whatever, with, for example, Revolut or Venmo for the US viewers more familiar. So we will be with MoveX. You will be able to invest and swap assets on the cross-chain way in a very user-friendly fashion. And this will be obviously revealed soon along with the white paper, where the details will be there, and I think that will explain it even better.
Exactly, and I think that it will be even easier to understand once you look at the updated website. So the content is still being reviewed by copywriters, and everything is still in progress, but we wanted to show you a few graphics, a few, let's say, a sneak peek of what's coming. So here's an exclusive sneak peek of the landing page of the first scroll. I think it looks great. It will probably evolve a bit, but this is the motif we'll probably stick with. Another cool thing will be features. So some of you might already guess what it might mean for the platform. But basically, as Marius has mentioned, the goal here, I think this is still a very big challenge in crypto in general, even for much bigger projects, that the entry barrier is very big. So people need to get to know how to invest, how to set up everything. What does the blockchain mean? Even a very simple thing, sending, let's say, USDT tokens from Binance to, let's say, Binance Smart Chain to ERC20. So on Ethereum blockchain can result in will probably result in a permanent loss if you don't do it right. For example, like if sending from Binance to Coinbase, even such things can be really difficult. If you think about getting, let's say, one level lower in like the difficulty, or let's say even one level higher, maybe in this point, investing on decentralized exchanges, PancakeSwap, and so on, things like slippage. It's so difficult to really for new people, especially in the space, to really get a grasp of what's going on. If you combine this with different blockchains, new projects coming, every single day, so it can be pretty overwhelming. So the idea here is to exactly, yeah.
I just wanted to chat with a small. Yeah. Actually, with a small thing that we have in 2022, 22nd or whatever, and even now, actually buying Move or any other asset requires you to manually file in the slippage. I mean, what the hell is this? I mean, this should be as easy as buying bread or whatever. And with the first feature we will release, you will actually no longer have to even think about slippage anymore, because you will not even care.
Exactly. Very well said. You won't even have to care about what is slippage and so on. It's still good to know this, but for new people, I think that's something which can be troublesome. And other challenges. So as you can see, for example, here, the idea is to make it very simple. So if you know Revolut, for example, you just have a username, you can send funds very easily, very quickly, in a very efficient manner. let's say in crypto, you usually have to know the specific address, this very long combination of letters and numbers to be able to send it. You have to know what is the blockchain, and also you might not be aware that the rates you're, for example, exchanging a token can be much better elsewhere.
Yeah, different exchanges, different, like especially if you exchange, for example, stable coins, you have like 20 different swaps that you can exchange it on right now, and you would have to do this manually to find the swap with the best rate. And typically it's not PancakeSwap, but sometimes also like the liquidity is not enough on this other cheaper swap, and you shouldn't really think about this stuff. You should just get the best rate and that's it.
Exactly. This is the vision we have been working on, and as mentioned. So basically, if we really want to step up our game, if we want to take the project to the next level, so we need to make sure that we are solving a specific problem that is universal here, and the problem of making the crypto space safe and accessible is a very big problem, which in my opinion is still not solved, and we want to solve this exact problem. We will probably also, once we have everything set up, we'll probably look to then expand on other things, like bigger investors. Maybe not. Let's not talk about this at the moment, but we are really thinking about this long term. Yeah. So maybe just before we go to long term and questions from the community, let's also discuss the short term thing. So I think maybe Marius, you can explain the MoveX rewards program. This is something we covered last time, but I think it's worth.
It's worth reminding what this is all about. So basically, when we grow a project, we have two things. We have the development of the platform itself and the growth levers. And right now, we have the organic marketing shrink of the community, and we also have the ads. We sometimes have the influencers and things that happen. But what if we could actually incentivize people, like everybody, to make money by attracting more people to the MarketMove platform, to the MoveX? So the idea is actually pretty familiar with you, I think. So every time you have these ref codes that sometimes you can see on YouTube, on Instagram, TikTok, wherever. We want to have the same thing. So the idea is that you will be able to buy MarketMove through our own MarketMove platform, and you will have a unique username. And if you can attract somebody to actually buy Move tokens for the first time, they will receive more Move tokens as a reward, and also the promoter will receive the reward in Move. So you can earn passive income just by sharing everywhere you can your unique link. If you have especially big reach because you have an audience or you have a frequented blog or Twitter channel, then you can easily make extra income and help growing your own bag by just promoting with your own link. So having this, we no longer have to negotiate deals with everybody out there, because they can just take their own link and work on this.
Exactly. And Marius, you also know many companies from different fields which use this very specific approach. Affiliate marketing is a very common practice.
How about Binance, for example? Actually,
even Binance.
I would say that probably this was the most important thing to help Binance outgrow their competitors very, very fast, because Binance actually was started, I think, in 2018 or so. And they used this very same technique to outgrow in a very competitive space, which is centralized crypto exchanges, where you had very big players with huge money involved. And they used this technique to outgrow them, and to a great success. Actually, I think everybody saw at some point there were this Binance links everywhere with referrals. Some of the promoters actually have made tens of millions of dollars. So that's really crazy how this can work, because this is like the virality factor. Once this starts, you cannot really contain it because it grows so fast. So if the same technique that actually helped a lot of businesses skyrocket works with us as well, then you can expect that so many people will soon hear about MarketMove that could join us as both community members, promoters, and investors, which obviously brings the demand up.
Exactly, this provides a much better incentive for people to promote the project. And as Marius has mentioned, the same thing happened with Binance. Even to this day, we have referral links. That can also reduce fees when exchanging on the on Binance and so on. So this can be a very, very powerful approach which we want to leverage. Basically. Just to maybe sum it up, so everyone who would like to promote Move would be invited to participate. And as you saw here, you would just use a very simple link with your unique ID. Yeah, so I guess this would be for the update, for let's say discussing the plans very briefly. Marius, do you have something to add before we move to the AMA part?
No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, so we can move to the actual AMA part. So before we move to questions asked live, maybe we have 3 important and I think interesting questions which were sent via Google Forms. And these are questions which, let's say, were sent numerous times here, so from different people. So it would be very cool to answer them first. Let's start maybe with the first thing. What happens with Move tokens when MarketMove or MoveX starts? Will tokens be transferred on MoveX? So just to clarify that, tokens will stay the same when MoveX launches. So you will still use Move tokens. They will serve as utility coins on the platform. So this is the way. You won't have to do anything. Your tokens won't be transferred to the platform and so on. So basically, that's the thing I think is worth to clarify. Marius, I think you can take over the next one if you have this.
All right. So the next question is about the contract audit. So some of the projects actually are marked as proxy. For those of you who don't know what that is, that means basically that you can change the contract code anytime, which would be a great opportunity to create a honeypot that doesn't seem like a honeypot in the first place. And is there any, but also it could be used for legitimate purposes. So this is actually a very thin line, because just having this information, we cannot really tell what will happen. And currently the way we handle it is actually the safest for the users, but maybe not necessarily the best for the actual token teams, because we flag it as a potential critical thing, and we give them 0 score. Well, there is no way to just determine how this will be used in the future. Right now, we just give 0 score, but we will make sure to stay up to date, and we'll be adjusting the warnings so that people know that this is not a definitely no-go, but just you have to do some more research.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I think we can also cover the last question, maybe a little technical as well. With the introduction of MoveX, will that make Move tradable on other networks or chains like ERC20 right on the go? So Marius.
Okay, so the point of a cross-chain exchange is to facilitate trading across different chains, obviously. That's the idea. So you will be, first of all, you will be able to swap your ERC20 assets into Move, be it Ethereum, Wrap, BTC, or whatever. You will be able to swap that into BEP20 Move. That being said, The move itself will likely just remain a BP20 token for now, since you can use it on other chains through the cross-chain feature anyway, so that wouldn't bring that much of a benefit. But we are considering making bridge tokens on the other blockchains in the near future, something similar to, for example, the Wormhole project, which provides a bridge to the UST stablecoin on other bridges. So this is a possibility, but for now, it will TLDR. It will be possible to trade with other chains. The Move token and Move will remain on the BP20 because of that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I guess we can now move to the live AMA part. So if anyone has any questions, so please raise your hand. I'm scrolling through the list, but I don't see anyone.
I think Champion Chan raised a hand for a second.
So if our
all right, Champion Chan, you got a question for us? Champion Chan, you might have to unmute yourself.
I'm sorry about that. It's actually a great presentation. I just wanted to ask about the staking of our Move token.
Okay, so staking is definitely on the roadmap. We are still working on the proper way so that it's incentivizes users the best and also aligns with the proposal of MoveX, so that the fees from using MoveX go to the staking incentives for the users.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Amalik, you're unmuted, or you might have to unmute. All right, we'll move on. We're gonna go to Exotic Potato. You got a question for us?
Hi guys. Thanks for the AMA. I have everyone's favorite question. What's the estimates for the release of the MoveX rewards and the new launch page, and also the MoveX itself, if even there is a rough estimate? Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll release everything, let's say, very soon. We'll start with the release of new website along with the new white paper, and you can expect this in the following weeks. MoveX rewards should be live around February. Marius, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the whole platform will be probably and most likely released continuously, so different features will be released one after each other. And here I don't really want to, let's say, give a specific time frame, but we'll make sure to make this as fast as possible. We'll start working on this, right? And we are already working on a few things, but we'll start working on the MoveX platform itself in February, along with the MoveX Rewards program. I think we'll release the first thing, very small thing, let's say, but I think that's also very important. So we call it MoveX Swap. Maybe Marius, you can tell a few words about this.
Well, I wouldn't say it's small, to be honest. The thing is that this is the, let's say, core of our platform. So MoveX Swap is not just, some swapping mechanism, because it will make it possible for you to exchange, not only just exchange things, exchange assets, but you will be able to do this at the best possible price. I just gave an example of the stable coins back, but actually, I don't know if you're aware, but if you're just swapping things on PancakeSwap, typically especially if they're just more popular ones, you may be losing even 10% of the value, because you don't have the time to shop around and look for the best rate. So using our AI, it will be possible to give you the best rate across all of the exchanges, in the beginning on the Binance Smart Chain, and in the future also across other chains. So if there is a path that will, for example, go from Move to, let's say, BNB through Ethereum to some other token, then it will traverse the most likely paths that you will have the best price, and pretty much give you the best price. That's the idea. And trust me, the difference can be significant. We have actually run tests. 10% is nothing unusual.
Exactly. So I meant, that this will be small compared to the whole vision in the end, but this will be like the first core and the very core thing. But basically, just to sum it up, so you can expect a new website, a new vision reveal, everything this month, MoveX rewards next month, and in the following months after that, there will be continuous releases of the platform.
All right, big bull.
Just maybe to touch upon that, I think it's also important to make sure that that we are relevant. That there are platforms that are kind of doing some of the things we're doing, but in a different fashion, typically limited to Ethereum, especially in the DeFi space, which will soon outperform thanks to the cross-chain technology. But just for the swap thing, one of the biggest actually tokens out there, I think they're in the top 100, is 1inch. Which is actually doing this, but in a limited fashion, trying to optimize the price. And it's a top 100 coin. So imagine if we can make it better and gain the better popularity. And this is just one feature. And we have other things, other features that are also implemented currently only on Ethereum by other top 100 coins. So that's where we're aiming, basically, but with the cross-chain, not just Ethereum, and not $100 gas fees.
Very nice. Big bull, you might have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, is there going to be a time when you guys going to stop with the burn? And is there going to be a time when these reflections going to stop?
Yeah, so at one point, reflections will be exchanged to staking as soon as the staking is ready. So obviously, there is no point in supporting both systems because we want to encourage people to stay with us longer. And also, staking will be not only funded by how reflections are funded, but actually from fees, also from fees from using the platform itself, because that's basically how staking typically works. And the other question was burn. So, well, with the current mechanism in place, the burn is not confined to any limit, and so the burn will keep on going on.
Yeah, obviously we want the burn to continue, since if the supply is limited, so it benefits the coin. You can see this in many different examples. Yeah, so thank you very much.
All right, let's bring up the doctor. You may have to unmute yourself, Doc.
Hi, I just want to ask a question that has to do with the reflections that are being earned. For newbies like myself, who find it a lot easier to just use, like on the MarketMove website, just use my credit card to purchase Move to my MetaMask wallet on Indacoin. It's a lot easier than swapping it from Binance to MetaMask and stuff like that. But we've learned that we don't earn reflections on those purchases. Do you guys plan on changing that anytime soon with Indacoin so that credit card purchases as well will earn reflections?
Are you sure that you're not earning reflections on those?
Yeah, and from the group, the admins informed me on that as well. And I do seem to only be earning reflections on the purchases I sent and received from my Binance to my MetaMask and changed to Move. But the ones I purchased directly from Indacoin using my credit card, I'm not earning reflections on those.
So
it's actually pretty weird because that's not how the reflection mechanism works. I mean, we have a possibility to exclude certain wallets from receiving reflections, but we're certainly not doing that with any of the Indacoin purchases. So I'm not sure if this is true. So let's say that we will investigate this and
Yeah,
it
we'll-
should not be happening. But I don't think it is actually happening.
Yeah,
But
we'll
just that
definitely, exactly. So we'll definitely investigate this. If you maybe could send us a DM with your wallet address, and we can, or any member of our team, and we can then have a look at this. So we'll.
Yeah, there's also this tool made by one of the members of our community that allows you to track the reflections received on Move.
Okay, perfect. I'll send you a DM. Thank you for taking the time to answer my question.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
We'll check it. Thank you very much.
All right. Tony.
Yeah, hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, hi guys, good job so far. I might have missed this, but when actually will MoveX launch?
So as said previously, MoveX will launch with new features on a constant rollout. So first of all, it will transform from the current MarketMove platform with the new rebranding and website and white paper to attract new interest in investors. So it's hard to say which of these events actually qualify as a launch, but if this is the first step, that would be it. Next in line are the MoveX rewards and the MoveX swap. So these are the first two features that will be released. We are not certain which one will come first yet. So in terms of releasing the first MoveX native, let's say, feature, that would be one of those. And with the website. So I would say in a couple of weeks there will be first either website or feature, depends what we call here the launch.
Okay, so the cross chain that you're working on, I don't know if you're familiar with bulk charts, but they're doing something similar to what you're doing. So I'm assuming because you're using your AI or proprietary format or code or whatever, do you think you're going to outperform what they're doing now? Because it just sounds pretty similar.
Okay, yeah, we don't know what exactly they're doing, so we'd have to take a look at their technology. I would say there will be a lot of players in space that will be filling different niches. So without further ado, I think there will be at least a couple of successful players, just like it was in the early days of the DeFi in 2020, which you can see if you can actually take a look at the top 100 coins, and those of the coins that are not, let's say, the coins tokens. The very top are obviously the blockchains, typically, not always, but typically. But right after those are the successful DeFi platforms of various kinds that have launched in the Ethereum in 2020. And my prediction is that this same thing will happen very soon, maybe in a year, maybe or two, maybe sooner than that. And you will see a new flood of tokens of the platforms that succeeded in the cross-chain space. And that's where we're aiming. And, well, maybe we'll outperform them, or maybe we'll just be trading side by side. Depends on what niches are they covering.
Yeah, just
okay.
I can add up on top of that because I'm familiar with the platform. So we'll be also covering other use cases. So it's if you were to, let's say, compare only one feature from a platform to another. So as mentioned previously, in a few weeks from now, we will have a full understanding of the whole vision, including the new website, white paper, and so on. And we will be very different from block charts, from block finance. Basically,
sorry, I just missed the
finance. There will be some similarities, but in my opinion, so we won't really have to compete because there will be many differentiators. But I think that at the very least we should be able to to stay on the same level regarding the features they are offering. Taking into consideration this let's say cross-chain swap, or how you want to call it. But we will be much more than that, and you will be able to get to know yourself in a few weeks from now. So
that's great. That's great.
We will be a complete earning platform, so not only just providing you the mere tools for doing stuff, but actually suggesting ways for you to earn income through staking, through farming, also cross-chain, and also providing these swap features and investment features. So we will be, I think, a bit more comprehensive, but again, it really depends where both of the platforms eventually go, because all of the platforms will reevaluate based on what's currently needed and expected on the market.
Exactly.
Okay, so finally, my last question is, the last AMA, you mentioned something that I thought was brilliant and would really bring adoption to the space, which was having to introduce people to crypto right now is a big problem, because you got to teach people how to get a MetaMask wallet, how to get their address, not send it to the wrong network. You mentioned that you would create a scenario where all we had to do was just use our names, like on Revolut, and you could just send it to someone else's name, and there would be a way that could be NFT.
Okay. Yeah, so this is actually a very good spot. This is still on the. Can you actually, Michael, please scroll back to the graphics that we have received from the designers?
Sure. So this is actually what I've meant. One of the things which will be our differentiators, and
Yes.
I think a very solid value proposition, because nailing the tech thing is one thing, but making this accessible, making the adoption much wider and much more universal is another thing. So
exactly. So I would say that the blockchain is a very strong technology, and it becomes even stronger than day by day. We have seen a growth of so many different chains, different ways of DeFi, staking, farming, whatnot. But what's still the problem is the adoption, and a lot of people want to invest, but they all only have some centralized exchanges. They only invest in Bitcoin or Ethereum, like the top coins and so on, because it's hard, because it's hard to feel the control of the funds. It's unintuitive. And there are different ways we want to tackle that problem, because if we do this right, then we can bring the crypto adoption through the roof. And then imagine if the first touch of the people with the crypto, the first contact with crypto would be through MoveX, because that's what we're aiming for. Then it's likely that they will stay with us for a long time.
I totally agree.
One of the ways we want to do this is we want to really simplify the way that people exchange funds. So it's actually not, in the traditional banking or fintechs, this is not that new, because with Revolut, you can just send people money for lunch or just, some friends, just using their phone number or some username. And this is becoming more and more typical. You have Venmo in the US, we have Revolut here in Europe, and a plethora of other platforms. Even like the traditional banks have already jumped on the bandwagon. What we want to do here is we want to encompass your wallet address into a username that would be minted as an NFT. So once you claim your username, it's yours, and you can transfer it as it would be an NFT, which would be a collectible by itself. And with this, you can easily send funds using the other person's NFT username. We have initially called it MoveX ID, and you will be able to also reuse it with any form of authentication as well. So the initial application is to send funds through this without thinking about the chains, without thinking about the wallet addresses and other things you can easily screw up. And later on, we will be also able to use that as an authentication mechanism, for example, in some metaverse games. So this is just the future vision, but why not?
Yeah, I think this is going to be the biggest, at least for me. There are people I would like to introduce, and I'm constantly hesitant because something happens and I get a call. I try to send this and they're sending it to the wrong network, or they don't even know where the wallet address is. It takes so long to learn that process. And this is something people are familiar with already. You can just, if you're setting it up and it's similar to Revolut, I think this is the strongest avenue or opportunity here for a move in its entirety. Nobody's doing anything like this for crypto.
Exactly. Even to this day, I'm still stressing out every time I'm transferring funds. So what if I just paste some wrong wrong address or just use the wrong network. I mean, if you send a lot of transfers, you can easily just do some mistake, and it's irrecoverable. And I think this is actually a very big flaw of the blockchain technologies whatsoever. But with this, we can at least help making this easier and more streamlined.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate the questions. Very, very good questions.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much. I think we have the time for one last question. So if you want to ask us anything, please raise your hand.
All right. We have Happy Gilmore in the house. Bobby Boucher.
Hey guys, MoveX is very exciting. I've got one question. Will it have are you planning on having its own liquidity pools, or so for example, is it going to be interfacing with something like PancakeSwap, or is it going to actually replace PancakeSwap, if that makes sense? Thank you.
Yeah, very good one. This was actually asked a few days earlier by the community, and the reality is that we eventually want to have both, and here's why. We cannot just say no to the liquidity pools of the top providers like Uniswap on Ethereum or PancakeSwap or a couple of others big providers on the Binance Smart Chain, simply because they have liquidity and they have so much liquidity to all of the different pairs. Still, PancakeSwap is the platform where most of the new projects are launching. That being said, especially in the beginning for the larger cryptocurrencies, I think it's a very good idea to have liquidity pools for them, and here's why: because that's the way you can earn rewards. I mean, earn staking, yield farm the pairs and get the rewards in Move. So eventually, this is something we want to do, not resigning from using PancakeSwap, because again we cannot really have this, because we would not be able to swap with so many pairs, at least for now. Hopefully in the future it will no longer be the problem, but yeah, that's where we want to solve it.
Thanks
also,
so much. Keep up the great work.
Very expensive, and you're paying a lot of fees to swap that, so that's also a big problem of the DEX, that it's sometimes just cheaper to go on the centralized exchange. We also want to fight this problem, because we don't want people to go to SEX just because it's cheaper. We want to make sure that it's also effective, especially in exchanging stable coins. There is a problem because PancakeSwap is just a bit expensive.
One more.
Hey,
all right,
buddy.
Here we go. Hey. Let's go with Coffee and Diamonds. How are you?
Nice one.
Hi, thank you so much for bringing me on stage, as they say in other places. My question is regarding the ID names. I have ID names on ENS, on Tezos, on other blockchains, and some of them I own, and some of them I have to pay again every year, which is kind of stressful because you never know how high the coin will go that I will have to renew my address in. So I'm wondering if once I own my name, I don't have to pay ENS or Tezos, or
this is
I don't
correct.
have to.
Okay, yeah. So just to make sure, well, this works exactly like NFTs. So once you have your name, you will never have to pay for it again. So it will remain yours.
Perfect. That's what I thought, but I wanted to confirm. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so thank you everyone for your questions. Very interesting and very important ones. I think we can conclude with that. So just to remind everyone, if you didn't make it in time to join the AMA at the very beginning, so you will be able to watch this on YouTube. I think it should be uploaded within the next couple of days. Yeah, and wishing you a great weekend ahead. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you very much. It was a great first week of the year. Let's look forward for the other 51 or so.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye.